Hello, welcome back. So, I tried to fight the prince last time. After having gotten Nestor's staff, it didn't get me much of anywhere. I have this thing, my character's not willing to use it anywhere, including in the prince's room. I decided to try Googling Nestor's staff and see what results came up. And what I found was... So I know how to use it now, and it is something incredibly obscure and stupid that I would never have figured out on my own, so I'm glad I found the answer online because it's just stupid, super dumb. And it sounds like I'm basically at the very end of the game here, so I want to spend just a little bit of time exploring this place that I never really tried to explore, just for thoroughness. I won't spend a huge amount of time in here if it's a big maze or something. Oh, wait a second, this is the mines, isn't it? I thought this place looked and sounded different. Yeah, looking at where that puts me on the map, this is the mines. Okay, right, so this and Murdale, or whatever that place is, the fortress with the things, and that one entrance over... I think it must have been in Arteford, all lead to places in the mines. This looks a little different from what I'm used to the mines looking like. I didn't remember those guys being there, or the traps I saw up north. So yeah, let me spend just a little bit of time in here, because I really spent very little time in the mines during this playthrough at all. Where's this go? Probably elsewhere in the mines. Yep. Yeah, no, this is not worth doing, is it? And in fact, I feel like... No, I walked out of the mines from Murdale. That's what I did. Because I know I went through that before. Anyway, I'll check the north branch of this just in case there's anything amazing there. But what I need is in the castle. There's some completely unmarked place, apparently, that I have to search and find a secret passage, and that's where I use the staff. And that's really stupid. Let's see. What's going to activate those traps? That activated that. Okay, even if they all activate, I can still get through here. This seems like the sort of place where something great might be hidden. If there's nothing immediately in either of these two rooms, I'm just going to give up and leave. Nothing there, unless they're carrying it. Let's check. Ow. Okay, you can actually still hurt me, despite my high level and good gear. Alright, anything on you? No. Anything on you? No. None of this really matters. This is just for thoroughness more than anything. Because I don't think there's any piece of loot I could find at this point in the game that would still help me here. Alright, I'll check these two rooms and then leave if they don't have anything or lead on to other places. Yep, okay, not staying for any more of this. Okay, so I'm going to leave this place, go back into the castle, and go search in the place where the thing I found said to search and see if there's anything there. Alright, back at the castle here, so this should more or less take me exactly where I need to be. Still don't know what's up with that one pentacle by the sacrificial altar that's just over here. It wasn't part of this. So I guess that's just there for ornamentation. Anyway, if I continue this way, ignore you, since you didn't see me. Up here is where I use the demonic key, right? So this was very baffling. The first time I went through this door, this room took me some random place in the castle. Now it takes me to an endless hallway, where going north just takes me back to the beginning, because if I back out here, that takes me there. What apparently you're supposed to do is go halfway up this hallway and search. Yep, there it is. It leads here to this, which is a nothing. Now what? Now wait, I was supposed to be able to go somewhere from here. See, this was a very baffling part of the game. It seems like... It does seem kind of like this is significant in some... Whoa! Okay, well I found it. Alright, if I go back and then go forward, it takes me here. Got it. Alright, so I need to be prepared for a fight there. Alright, so go here, search the thing in the wall, then don't do anything with that. Just keep going north. That's extremely stupid. Alright, anyway, healing herbs. Let's take this thing on. Oh, wait, what? What happened? Do I need to go in here and then that triggers the thing? Because, like, searching in there did nothing. This is so dumb. Alright, well, I'm there again. Attack! I think this might be Asmodeus himself. That thing has a lot of health. Okay, I took it out. Got some stuff. Anything conspicuous? No, don't see anything. I have a Tome of Outdated Concepts. That probably was on him. Let's see if I can use it. Probably not. Okay, no. Alright, so here's the thing. Oh, I used Nestor's Staff. The flame is extinguished. Cool. Alright, so I think that was it. I think that was what I needed to do in order to make the prince vulnerable. Okay. Cool. Yeah, see, this hallway isn't quite significant enough to justify a completely unmarked place you need to search to find the thing you need to do to win the game. Like, that's just unreasonably hidden. If there were some indication of something on the floor there, or maybe like if it showed up if you ran up the hallway a few times, or somebody told you where to find that, that'd be fine. But as it is, how would anyone ever know where that is without some sort of walkthrough? Anyway, so back to hell, I guess. Let's go see the prince and see if it's possible to kill him now. Alright, here we go. I think I'm as ready as I'm gonna get. Have my cursor on the healing herbs. I could possibly use the sapphire ring for a little more aura, but that's cumbersome. Let's see what he thinks of me now. You, cannot hope to defeat me. Yeah, he's less confident. Can I damage him with knives? I would like to know. Yeah, he's much more unsure of things. Run for your lives, he says, as if there's more than one of me. No adaptive dialogue for single player. Alright, I'm doing damage to him. Cool. So I don't even need to get close. Problem is... Okay, so those little dragons maybe can just block the way of the big one. I think he's hitting me through them, though. That's okay, though. Hey! I got him! Okay. Well, cool. Problem is I'm still in a lot of danger here. I don't think that's deactivated that thing. I'm gonna clean this up. His little gold dragons seem to be running away. I just want this room a little emptier before I loot him for some reason. Okay. Heal? Alright. Yes, yes, yes. No loose change. No loose change on this corpse. What? Okay. So he's dead. But that doesn't immediately end the game. Interesting. Okay, so it did deactivate the spawner thing. He had nothing on him. Oh, there we go. Victory! You have tracked the evil prince to his lair in hell and slain him in mortal combat. His reign of terror and cruelty is ended. That wasn't so hard, was it? Lucky the big demons are on vacation. Returning to Nestaria. Your journey back out of hell is comparatively uneventful. Wiping the blood of countless demons, specters, and manticores, not to mention one evil prince, from your hands. Fortunately, all Neptune's oceans are accessible from hell. What? You return along the path of carnage you carved to get in. The future. The way is open for Imria to follow her father as ruler of Nestaria, the way he intended. Nanak, his days as a warrior over, or are they? Beats his sword into a plow with his head and takes up a position in the new administration as Minister for Energy. His duties comprise pushing the Wheel of Pain to provide hydraulic power for all Nestaria. Taiza, her crimes before... and during the rebellion pardoned and her family's property reinstated, starts a non-denominational convent across the way from the monastery. Okay. Ada returns to your research into aesthetic spells. A promising development will allow rectangular images and sound to be broadcast all over Nastaria. As for the elf with no name, he returns to the Tulgay Woods from whence he came. Dunnigan, his days of soldiering over at last, but bored by farming, starts a new business based on elaborate versions of chess which allow hundreds of pieces to be moved almost continually, and dice rolls to determine the outcome of captures. The future is better than expected. The end. And the game quits. Alright, so what I want to do here, assuming this works, I'm going to start over, since I have some extra time, and show off how the other three characters play just a little bit. This emulator, for some reason, if I start a game over after having run it and then quit, it sometimes crashes. I think it might actually be hung right now, because it doesn't seem like I can do anything right here, so I guess I need to restart it to do that. Okay? Alright, here we go. So, Nanak. Start. So, he's not entirely dissimilar to the assassin. Whoa, he feels different to move. Oh, this is super weird. I don't know if it's just the way he's animated, but he has like a momentum to him that the assassin just did not have. I never realized he actually moved differently. Okay, anyway, so sword attack, largely the same. Instead of knives, he throws axes, very slowly and way off to the side. He can wield all the heavy armor and stuff. He's probably maybe the second best choice if you want to play the game and have an easy time of it. Let's try axes on this guy first. But mainly he's supposed to get in melee, yeah. That's the noise he makes when he takes a hit. Yep. So other than that, pretty much the same. Alright, so let's see. If I wanted to return to the title screen... let's see here. Open search, talk, help. I guess I'm just gonna have to quit. And this will probably crash the emulator again, won't it? Yep, don't think that's going anywhere, so I have to restart it every single time for this. Alright. Okay, next up is Silly, the elf. Why he's named Silly, I have no idea. You can rename these, by the way, but I won't. Oh wait, right, so you can change their stats. I forgot about that. Interesting. Huh. I don't usually play with that. Why does the G in toughness look so weird? Unspent also has an extra dot in it. That's strange. Alright, so this is so where the assassin was sort of a mixed range and melee character, and Nanak was melee, not melee only, but primarily melee. This is a primarily ranged character. So you do have a melee attack, it's like that, it's different from all the others. But mostly you want to do that, so he has a real powerful ranged attack. That's pretty good, but then once he gets in melee, he's not quite as great. Let's go into this place and see. This is probably not the best choice because this is a lot tougher than some of the other areas. I find this character fun to play. It might... I don't think it's worth playing again with different characters just to see the differences. Because they're not that big. I do wish that I could have switched characters in the middle, or... Alright, so if I'm in close... Yeah, I can't use my bow. Have to use this weird little stab attack, which is kind of awkward. So yeah, he's real bad at close range, but pretty good at range. I'm going to show off his bow just a little bit more, because it's kind of fun to use. I'll clear out like that room and the one to north of it. And actually, this is a place where I can get a better bow. Sure, let's see if that's possible. I don't know if he's powerful enough for that, but maybe. Probably not at level 0. I didn't even read the Tome of Basics, or whatever it's called, when I came in here. Let's see, so these guys would give me some healing potions. Yeah, so you can just unleash a big volley of arrows, but if you're not at the right angle, it doesn't work too well. Yeah, and he goes down quick, so that's... Elf bow, elf cloak, knife. He can use a lot of swords, probably not all of them, I don't know. Any chance? Yeah, alright, got him. And then you had the better bow, right? Master Longbow. Alright, so that's an upgrade for him. Adapentium? What? I don't think he could take this thing down. Yeah, in fact, I'm not even dealing damage to him, am I? I'll try a little more. Only reaches that far, okay. Yeah, no, as soon as he uses that on me, one shot. Alright, so I'm going to start over again and show off the Magician. Alright. Ada, the Magician. Right, I looked at those backstories in the first little bit. I didn't spend much time on them. It is not recommended for single-player use. But let's see. So this is one of the most complicated characters. She can't use any kind of melee weapon. And let's see. So if I hold the ranged attack button, that happens. But there's more to it than that. Let's see. Help. Select spell. Numpad minus and plus. Okay, I can't press those keys because one of those stops my recording. Okay, so I can use these. Alright, so a different spell is that one. So that's like some sort of blade trap thing. Oh, I have to select it every time. That's a pain. Well, it's kind of a pain, because this is the default. That's the one you want to cast the most. So I guess you'd go to a place, start casting a spell, choose the one you want to cast, and then it'll switch back to the main one. Alright, so Blade Trap. Alright, well I took that guy down at least. Search. Let's see, what else does she have? Plus. Okay, so that shoots 4 at once. That's cool, but you have to select it every time, so that's super cumbersome. See, this is why it's just not recommended for single-player use, because you want to have like a melee character or two in front, and that's hard to do like this. Okay, so shoot that. That does that. Okay. And okay, that one, curiously enough, actually costs some health. I think that thing homes or something. It's this one. Yeah, okay, I managed to one-shot that. Does my magic missile one-shot him? Yes, okay. So I don't know that does any more damage. This might be... Yeah, okay, so that's like sort of fast travel sort of thing. Is that any faster than just running? Seems about the same speed. And that only goes in a straight line, and you have to select it every time, so that's a pain. Yeah, that's the same speed as running. Why would you ever use that? Like, if you didn't know about the run button, I guess. Oops. Yeah, I don't get the point of that, because I can't do anything during it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't deal damage. Let's find out. Okay, select, 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 select the spell, would you? The spell select keys are extremely unresponsive for whatever reason. Select, use. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, and once I'm here, I can't really defend myself. I have to run away and get some distance in order to cast anything else. Yeah, so she would not do well. She does start with Aura 8, so I have some protection against whatever that protects against. Interestingly, this character, for whatever reason, gets more effect out of the healing potion, so it heals her for 6 instead of 4, and she says different things. I think she's wider than the others, just because of her robe. Yeah, because that wouldn't have hit anybody else if I was facing that way. So that's a pretty significant handicap. I'd like to use some of these other spells if I could ever actually select them. No, you really need time to select the appropriate spell in combat, and it just doesn't give that to you. Let's see, so what would I want to cast here that'd be interesting? This wood, that's the 4 thingy. Alright, well that didn't hit anybody. Anyway, yeah, so this character is not super usable. Maybe if I collected some equipment I could take on that encounter, but... Anyway, she's kind of fun to play around with. Fine in multiplayer, but not so great on her own. Anyway, so that's all the characters in the game. I think my choice of assassin was a fine one. Other two that are not magician would also have worked. Anyway, so that's Prince of Destruction. Ultimately, I think it worked okay. It was hampered by horrible level design in a couple of places, but in other places, I don't know, the game was kind of worthwhile in a lot of ways. I'm glad I finished it. The ending was super unsatisfying. I mean, story was fine, but it was just a couple of pages of text and a couple of drawings, and it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't really expecting anything more, but yeah. Last little bit was super unintuitive and should not have been. Right, so when you die, you have to go get the key. I guess I never actually showed off this happening. If you die and just go ahead and respawn, you start over with all your starting gear. You go down a level. I should have gone through that teleporter and read the Tome of Basics, or whatever it's called, to get up to level 1 before I attempted any of this. But if you run back to where you died, you can get all your stuff back, and copies of all the things you were holding, so that's one way to get extra money. Yeah, no matter which way I'm facing, there's just no avoiding that. She is not made to get through there without taking damage. Alright, so I have a corpse here, got the stuff off of it. Not that I really had anything. I guess you could farm healing potions that way. Yeah, I just died to the first guard on the second screen, and Anyway, yeah, so I think that's pretty much all for this game. Can't deal any damage at all with this, guys, that's what I thought. Alright, cool. So I hope you enjoyed Prince of Destruction, and I'll see you again for another game sometime.